News 8 at Sunrise in high definition continues.
Well, welcome back. CPA Jamie Block is back with us. Jamie, good to see you.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks for having me.
Sure. So we are under a month until the filing deadline on April 15th. This morning, we're talking, yeah, I know you're excited. This morning, we're talking about something that folks should be less excited about, red flags when choosing a tax professional. Obviously, it's important to get your return in on time and done legitimately. What are the consequences if you don't?
Yeah, it's very important that you prepare your return accurately because the IRS has a lot of technology that's going to detect fraud or even mistakes that are honest. So you want to make sure you have a preparer that's going to file the return accurately and isn't fraudulent. If you file a fraudulent return, not only are you going to have to pay the tax that you didn't pay in, but you may be subject to interest and penalties, which could be substantial.
All right, nobody wants that. What are the red flags? What are we looking for when it comes to selecting a legitimate tax preparer?
Yeah, the first step you can take is to go onto the IRS's website and find their PTIN directory search, and we'll put that on the website later.
Yep.
And when you do that, you can go in and find people who have a personal identification number. It's called Personal Tax Preparer Identification Number, PTIN. And you can find people who have to renew those credentials every year, and that's one step that you can take to make sure they're legitimate because they are required to have the PTIN if they file federal returns.
All right, so if we see that, we know we're in good shape. What's another red flag?
Yeah, another red flag that you might have is if they give you a number for a refund without even looking at your information. I mean, obviously you need to look because your information varies depending on what your income is, what your deductions are. And if someone says, oh, you're going to get this amount of refund, you really should have some red flags popping up in your head and find someone else.
What are the steps we should take when we try and go through the process of selecting a tax preparer then?
Yeah, what you really should do is ask them what their credentials are. Are they an attorney, a CPA, an EA, enrolled agent? Or if they have no credentials at all, what their background is, what are their experiences, and also making sure that you get some references to make sure they're legitimate and that people have had good experiences with them.
All right, you mentioned those varying credentials there. In your mind, is there one that's best suited in terms of trying to file your tax return or our tax returns?
Yeah, of course I'm a little biased. I'm a certified public accountant, a CPA, and I think that's probably the gold standard in my mind for professionals. There are attorneys, but many attorneys don't practice in preparing returns. There are requirements for education that must be met for CPAs. You have to have at least, right now it's probably about a master's degree by the time you add up all the credits, and you have to have so many years of experience. And on top of that, you have to follow a code of ethics, and you also have to do continuing education credits each year to renew your license. So it really is kind of the gold standard, as I'd said. And
as a consumer, we, of course, benefit from that as well. Final thoughts on this subject?
Yeah, I think it's very important for folks to make sure that they find a reputable tax practitioner to do their returns accurately, so that way they don't have to have any audits or get in any trouble with the government and can rest at night knowing that everything's okay.
Agreed. All we want is our refund, Jamie, that's all. We want to put all the rest of that aside for sure. Thank you. Appreciate it. If you missed any of our conversation, including that web reference that Jamie made, we'll be sharing it on our website as well at rochesterfirst.com.